Hey everybody, so we're doing another little let's chat type thing, but this time we're going to start a new series with this to go on top of everything else I'm hoping to do. It's just my little vlog, a weekly update of what's going on outside of just the normal recordings. So I figure what we'll do here is I wanted to kind of just be real with you guys, not always just being like, oh, let's do content and everything else, because I'm a human being and so are you guys, and I feel like we should, it builds rapport as well as sometimes I like to just get it all out there, what's going on in the world, everything else, share my life, as well as just share with my thoughts more unscripted and fully out there and prepared. So while we're doing that though, because it is Sunday, the Sunday of pre-release for Edge Eternities, we'll open up a lovely little booster box. And also, I want to talk about, while I'm opening this, I want to talk about Friday. Friday was an incredible pre-release day. First off, I had so much fun. Got to see so many people that I really enjoyed being around. Some people who really made my day, including somebody who mentioned my channel, and that really brightened my day. And I know it sounds silly to some people, but to me it means a lot, especially because lately I've been really struggling with my depression. I'm going through a lot of therapy and kind of really digging through a lot of stuff that is heavier than I first anticipated. And I feel like transparency is a beautiful thing. And I think it's okay to talk about depression like that, because I'll be the first one to say if you need to have, if you need something off your chest, if you need to talk to somebody, find a professional, find somebody who you can talk to, get that counseling, get the help. It's totally worth it and totally okay. There is no shame in that. Anybody who tells you that there is, well, they're a dingus. But I've been going through a lot of stuff, and I know I don't always show it when I'm in front of people. I've gotten absurdly good at masking, and I know that. But, sometimes the mask has to come off, and that's kind of what this vlog does. It helps me kind of keep that mask off for a little bit, but also still talking about magic, so that's kind of what we're doing here. But one thing I also wanted to talk about with Friday was Friday, we had, give me one second here. My partner just told me good night, and I love that. But what I was going to say is that Friday, we had pre-release night. I'm going to move these so it's not so distorting the camera with the focus, because, that's not going to be a good thing. Plus, we already have Glebe and Glorb on the camera, which love them. But Friday we had Edge Eternities pre-release, and Wizards decided, oh, you're doing day one of pre-release? Let's release all these spoilers about Spider-Man coming out. And it just further emphasizes my last video about how things are going too fast. Give us some time to enjoy Edge of Eternities. Give us some time to enjoy what just got out in front of us. Instead, you're like, no, look at Spider-Man. Don't care about this stuff. They are completely treating their the in-universe stuff as the redheaded stepchild. And it's getting so frustrating. They did this with Tarkir too. Tarkir was almost completely overshadowed because of Final Fantasy, to where we didn't get big advertisements about it. We got more about Edge than we did Tarkir. Tarkir, we got like a small little thing, and then like as they're trying to, move us towards Tarkir, it's, oh, Tarkir what? No, focus on Final Fantasy, and it's annoying. Bombard, okay, 4 damage to a target creature. Dark Endurance, just one less if its target's a blocking creature. Gets +2/+0 indestructible in turn. That's pretty good. I guess I'm gonna sort these while we're doing this over off to the side because I like to have things in a certain order. I'm sorry I'm bringing this so high up. The light jammer. This is going to be when enduring equipment enters, attach it to target creature you control. It gains hexproof until end of turn, as well as a +1/+2. Interesting. Starfighter pilot. Alright, survey 1. Sammy's curiosity. I'm trying to find a good angle for this, guys. Bear with me here. We're going to try to do something with this. Oh, too bright. But again, unscripted, unedited. You guys are going to get this the way it is. Alright, here we go. Oh, come on, focus. There you go. Gain 2 life and create a lander token. Good. Like that. Slag Drill Scrapper. Artifact creature, robot scout. Just going to be a card draw. Radiant Strike. Destroys something and gain life. Thawbringer. Enters or dies. Survey 1. Or Surveil 1, rather. Survey, goodness. A Defender Robot. Interesting. I kind of like the fact that I'm seeing more Defenders lately than I used to. So that's kind of neat too. At the beginning of your end step, if you control 2 or more tapped creatures, you may discard your hand. If you do, draw 2 cards. That could be good if like you're almost top decking there. Artifact creature, robot soldier. Tap to add 1 blue to cast artifact spell. Add 2 to activate our abilities of artifacts. Okay, so this is definitely going to be good for an artifact deck. We might put that aside for the artifacts. That's the other thing. If I see stuff that's going to seem like it might be good for some of my already existing decks, I'm probably going to do that. Dominion Bracelet gets +1/+1. It has the 15 cost of you exile the bracelet. You control target opponent during their next turn. It costs X to activate, where X is the creature's power. Activate only as a sorcery. Oh, so this is just X is this creature. Oh, this creature's power, the person who's wearing it. Okay. Interesting. So that could be a pretty interesting thing to put on some big boys. Dubious Delicacy. When this artifact creature enters, up to 1 target creature gets -3/-3 until end of turn. Sacrifice to gain 3 life, or you can sacrifice it to make an opponent lose 3 life. And then a mountain. And a token. Interesting. But yeah, so that's my big gripe right now with Wizards is we just started tech here. Like, this is technically day 3 of pre-release. It's not even official release time because that's next Friday, or this coming Friday. And already we're more focused on Spider-Man. Give us some time, people. Alright. Tap another target creature. It costs 2 less to activate if you control a creature with 1/1 counter on it. Okay. Interesting. I don't know if I'd like that one or anything, but we'll see. That one could be good for other things, but not for my green sleeves. I actually saw this one in play on Friday, and it was actually pretty good. Sacrifice artifact creature, destroy target creature. See, that's gonna be great for all that spacecraft stuff. This card here. Pardon me. Another lovely +1/+0. So, I mean, what did you all think? Did you guys do the pre-release? Did you have a lot of good fun with it? Because I know I did. Got to see how some of the stuff works and how it could be really beneficial. Definitely saw a peek of how some things I definitely want in my different decks. But we're just gonna have to see how that goes. You know, some things may stay, some things may go. Like this one, tough power tones are equal to the number of lands you control. That's great. I don't know if he'll go to my green sleeves. We're gonna put on the side as a maybe. Sacrifice and use a surveil. Interesting. When this creature enters, white human soldier token. There's a different card I like better than this one, but this one's still great for the soldier deck. But there's one that I like far greater than this one. Oh, we got ourselves a planet. It's the Plains planet. These are going to be good. There's a lot of great things to be done with those planets, and I'm really happy to see that. Dreaming Acolyte. Draw 2 cards and discard 2 cards unless you discard an artifact card. And it has Death Touch. Okay. Interesting. So that's going to be an interesting gold. So we're going to put that there. Artifact or enchantment you control. So we might have to peek at that one down the road. But it is a special land. And then we have an island, a lander, and drone. So yeah, that's the whole thing there. Now, one thing I wanted to talk about also, to talk with you guys, is probably not going to have a lot of camera time, like me on the camera, for a couple weeks, because on Tuesday, I am going to be having surgery, septoplasty, which is right here. It's actually your septum, especially if it's broken or deviated. And so I am probably going to be not showing the camera because I'm not going to be looking so great. This one's a good one. When this creature enters, put a 1/1 counter on target creature. Each creature controls a 1/1 counter and it has trample. That's likely going to go into green sleeves. Target creature gets +3/+0 and gains first strike and reach until end of turn. That's a neat one. When this creature enters, each opponent discards a card. That might be put into some play. I'm not sure exactly yet. Defender. As long as an artifact enters the battlefield under your control this turn, this creature can attack as though it didn't have Defender. It's still pretty neat. I do like that one. I could see some use for it. I had 2 of these in my my pre-release, the Flight Deck Command Coordinator, and it was definitely more of a cannon fodder because I did white and green, and I did not have a 1-card draw. Or, I mean, not 1 card, sorry, 1 land draw. So it was not the best, but this was still what I used as a padding. Drill 2 deep. Put 5 charge counters on a target spacecraft or planet you control, or destroy target artifact. That could be interesting. Alright, we have a drone here. This creature enters with a 1/1 counter on it. When this creature dies, put its counters on target creature you control. Okay, interesting. What did I put that over here? Scour for scrap. Choose one or both. Search your library for an artifact card, reveal it, put it in your hand, and then shuffle. Return target artifact card from your graveyard to your hand. So this one could be good also for artifacts. So this one's like very artifact heavy, this deck is, which means my Artificer deck is probably going to have some work on it. At the beginning of combat on your turn, this creature you control gets 1/0 and gains first strike until end of turn. Dauntless Scrapbot. When this creature enters, exile each opponent's graveyard, create a land or token. That's disgusting, and I like it, and we're going to find a spot for it. We're not going to even worry about it. We're going to just find it. Alright. Put target exiled card with warp on the bottom of owner's library. Interesting. Spells you cast have affinity for artifacts. You can cast once for each artifact you control. We're not going to put that to the side because maybe. Mouth of the Storm Ward. When the creature enters, creatures your opponent's control get -3, -0 until your next turn, rather. So it lasts even on their turn. Okay. That one might be fun to mess around with. Let's see what happens. We'll have to see. Beautiful Plains. Another token. But yeah, so back to my topic there. I am going to have facial surgery, septoplasty. They say I won't look like I have a busted nose or marks under my eyes like I got beat up, but I've also had other people say, no, you definitely will have that. So until I know for sure, as well as how the stents look in my nose, I'm not going to be in front of a camera. But once we get that all figured out, I will probably happily come back and see what was going on. The Gale Blade, another Night Luminary, Blooming Stinger. When this creature enters, another target creature you control gains death. So that's kind of cool. I know. Again, it's not what I would do for green sleeves, but there's other decks I have that have green in it that might be fun to play with. If you control 2 or more tapped creatures, put a 1/1 counter on this creature. That could be interesting. I don't like the ones that are like on this creature. I like it when it's like on target creatures, like you can make it for anybody. But whatever. Skittermaw. It is insatiable, and at the beginning of your end step, if another land permanent has left the battlefield this turn or spell is warped, it gets a 1/1 counter and has menace. Interesting. Starbreach Whale. Beautiful. Don't think I'd put it in anything, but I do like the artwork on that one. Whenever this creature becomes tapped, untap another target permanent. This ability triggers only once each turn, so that could be interesting. Specimen Freighter. When this spacecraft enters, return up to 2 target non-spacecraft creatures to their owner's hands. And then whenever the spacecraft attacks, defending player mills 4 cards. I can see what's going to be nasty. Alright, let's return 2 lander tokens. We already saw that one. Alright, here we go. Human Pilot. When this creature enters, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a spacecraft card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in random order. If you didn't put a card in your hand this way, put a 1/1 counter on this creature. So, really, there's a lot of things I was thinking about doing with certain spacecrafts and whatnot that we're going to have to take a look at for my future decks. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may cast artifact spells from the top of your library. Artifacts you control have tap to add 1 blue. Spend this mana only to cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand. So that's going to be interesting. We're going to resort, because I think I'm just going to look at these more deeply after I'm done recording, because right now I think I'm going to be too distracted trying to think about that I'm not going to really be able to enjoy talking to you guys and looking at these beautiful cards. Eldrazi Temple. Spend this mana only to cast colorless Eldrazi spells or activate abilities of colorless Eldrazi. That is gorgeous, though. I don't even care. I just think that's beautiful. We're going to put that to the side, though. We're not going to put that in the basic lands, obviously. And that's another token. So, after doing the pre-release, I didn't really do anything with Void, so I don't know of my opinion on Void yet. Warp is going to be really good. Now, granted, when you warp something, it still has sickness, but it's still really good. Let me try to remove this light a little bit, because it is too bright. Is that better for y'all? Nutrient Block. Ice Crave Crasher. War Rager, we've already seen that one a few times. We got Skittermaw. Another Whale. Temporal Intervention. Void. This has 2 less if the Void effect triggers. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card from it. That player discards that card. Okay. It's a flying ship. Only cost 4. It surveils 2. Interesting. So that's gonna be an interesting to look at down the road. Scout for Survivors. I haven't seen this one yet. Up to 3 target creatures, cards with total mana value of 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Put a 1/1 counter on each of them. Interesting. We've seen that one already. That one's going to probably be a good one for my mill deck. I'm not sure yet. Oh, come on. You want to focus. See, now it doesn't want to do it because there's no light. Darned if you do, darned if you don't, right? That's the thing about doing these, is sometimes it gets tricky. Thespian Stage, interesting. I love these special art things. I don't know if I like the font, but I do like them. Oh, we got ourselves an Eldrazi here. When this creature leaves the battlefield, draw a card. Then you may put a permanent card with mana value less than or equal to the number of lands you control from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. You can warp this one as well. I feel that's going to become part of my colorless. There's our Fate Maker again in a beautiful forest. So, also, I want to let you guys know, I know, like I said, the reason why I didn't have those recordings after I had the Let's Talk thing was due to the depression. I am feeling a little better now. I am still fighting with it, but, things are getting better, and that's always a good thing. But I want to let you know that, there are some things in the works. We are going to have some more fun things to hopefully talk about besides just teaching the game. And I'm hoping to really make this be worthwhile for you all. Some things are going to be a lot more quick edit, like how this one's probably going to turn out. While other ones are probably going to be a lot more intricate. Gravpack Monoist. Flying. When this creature dies, create a tap 2/2 colorless robot artifact creature token. Interesting. Cryo Shatter. -5/0. If when enchanted creature becomes tapped or dealt damage, destroy it. Oof. Okay. Zealous Display. We already saw that one. Unravel. Counter target spell. If the amount of mana spent to cast spell is less than its mana value, cast that spell was less than its mana value, draw a card. I'll have to look more into that one. That might be interesting. I guess that's like to help mess with warps. Landfall. Whenever a land you control enters, this creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn. It has reach. Another delicacy. Sacred Foundry. It is a plains. Oh, not plains. I'm sorry. It is a Pains land. Which I found ways that I like those. Station. Lumen class frigate. At +2. Other creatures you control get +1/+1. At 12, flying and lifelink 3/5. Interesting. Another temporal intervention. Alright. That goes there. So now that I've done my gripe earlier on and quickly on the Spider-Man thing, I do want to say that there are some cards in here that I am kind of curious about, but it's not like a ooh-ah. Like, I'm sure I'll buy it, especially the fact that it comes out 2 days. Like, the pre-release is 2 or 3 days after my birthday, so I mean that's definitely gonna be something I'm probably gonna do. But we're also just, I'm a comic book fan, especially when it comes to Marvel Comics. So it's kind of hard for me not to want to do it. This creature enters with a 1/1 counter for each other creature and or artifact. Okay, that's kind of interesting. A target creature control gains reach, trample, indestructible until in turn untap it. That's a nasty. I like it. Okay. Drill too deep. We've already been through there. Pull through the weft. Return up to 2 target non-land permanent cards from your graveyard to your hand. Then return up to 2 target land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Okay, so this is the one that I've wanted to get, probably my Angels one. When this creature enters, search your library for a basic plains card or creature card with mana value 1 or less, reveal it and put it into your hand, then shuffle. You can warp this. That might go into my Angels deck. I'm not sure yet. As this allows to cast a spell, sacrifice artifact creature. Return target creature or spacecraft card with mana value 5 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, and then create a lander token. Possibility Technician. Okay, this is whenever this creature or another Karuz you control enters, Exile a tap card to your library for as long as that card remains exiled. You may play it if you control a Karuv. And you can warp that, so that's actually not bad. Karuvs seem like they're going to have some choice stuff. Other creature control have haste. Artifact cards and red creature cards in your hand have warp 2 and a mana, and that's a beautiful foil. Swamp. Lander. So, did you guys see any cards that struck out to you that you knew you really wanted to get for your decks? There's some that I want. Some that I knew I wanted from the get-go, and some that I found out after playing pre-release. I'm like, oh, this is ridiculous. I must have this. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. Embrace Oblivion. I just love that. Galeblade. Another intervention. We got a lot of interventions this time. Galactic Wayfarer. Alphazrael. When this creature enters, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a spacecraft card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest in the bottom of your library in random order. If you didn't put a card in your hand this way, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. Interesting. Annul. Could be a great counter. Another Grove Strider. Okay, it's an aura. Enchant artifact you control. When this aura enters, exile target creature an opponent controls until this aura leaves the battlefield. Enchanted permanent has ward 1. So that's going to be kind of nice. And then we are seeing the Glavblade Heavy. As long as you control an artifact, this creature gets +1/+0 and has Death Touch. Yeah, definitely soldiers are in this deck. But my soldier deck is all white. So it's my mono white deck. So like that black soldier, as much as I like the idea about Death Touch, it doesn't help me at all. In fact, it kind of defeats my purpose. Rick for War. Another Virus Beetle. Try to get this at a good angle for you guys. I do apologize. Self-craft Mechan. Alright. Sacrifice an artifact. If you do, put a 1/1. When you do, put a 1/1 counter on target creature and draw a card. Okay. Another Drix. Drix is making a big appearance. When this equipment enters, attach it to a target creature control. It gets +2/+1, has reach. It's all of it automatically attaches to target creature you control. Then, if you need to re-equip it, it has a cost. I like that. Pinnacle Kill Ship. When the spacecraft enters, it deals 10 damage to up to 1 target creature. Station, and it's a 7/7 flying after you station it up. So even if you don't station it up right away or take your sweet time, still, something that's a big old pain in the butt, 10 damage, yes please. Whenever this creature or another creature or artifact you control dies, target opponent loses 1 life, you gain 1 life. That's going to be an interesting one to have. I have a few decks I could see that being good with. Rampage. Infiltrator. That's going to be interesting. Rescue Skiff. When this spacecraft enters, return target creature or enchantment card from your graveyard to the battlefield, and then it's a 5/6 flying after 10. Secluded Starforge. Colorless rather. 2 tap X untapped artifacts you control. Target creature gets +X/+2 until end of turn. Activate only as a sorcery, or do 5 and tap a 2/2 colorless robot artifact token. Interesting. A command bridge foil. This one's interesting. I sat there and realized when I was playing that it talks about how when this land enters, sacrifice it unless you tap it, untap permanent you control. That can be another land, and it's okay. I didn't realize that until I asked about it, and it qualifies. And I'm like, oh, well, shoot. That's perfect. Because That's a lot easier than tapping some of your people you either to station with or have as your defense. I don't know, maybe I'll make a Karuv deck just for fun. I already have a mono red, but I don't know. Karuvs seem like they are going to be an interesting tribal. Alright. Another counter, but with a possibility of a lander token. Banishing Light. I did have that in my pre-release, as well as the Fungal Colossus. Where X is the number of differently named lands you control, it will make it cost that much less to summon Fungal Colossus. Red Tiger Mechan. Haste. So this one, actually, when you warp it, it won't have summon sickness due to haste, but it is an artifact robot cat 3/3. Loving the cat. We already have a kill ship. That's awesome. Bygone Colossus. Warp 3. I don't know why you'd warp this, unless it's just to... you can't continue to do a sorcery, so it doesn't make sense. I'm not sure why this would be good to warp. That seems like it's just an odd filler. When this creature becomes tapped, draw a card, then discard a card. Enchant creature you control. When this aura enters, enchant creature fights up to one target creature an opponent controls. Enchant creature gets +0/+2 and can't be blocked by more than one creature. Interesting. Follows Faithful. When a creature enters, destroy up to one other target creature. If that creature wasn't dealt damage this turn, the controller draws 2 cards. Moonlit Meditation. Another enchantment. Enchant artifact or creature you control. The first time you would create one or more tokens each turn, you may instead create that many tokens that are copies of enchanted permanent. That might be interesting. We might have to hold on to that one. Alright. Pangolin. Whenever another artifact you control enters, you may pay 1. If you do, put a 1/1 counter on this creature. Oh, that Moonlit one. That's... I got a few decks. I like tokens. I do like token decks. I've noticed that's kind of became about a third of my decks have some type of tokens in one way or the other. Decode Transmissions. Draw 2 cards, lose 2 life. If a non-land permanent left the battlefield this turn or was warped this turn, instead you draw 2 cards and each opponent loses 2 life. That could be interesting in a, I don't know, Shieldred. An Operative. Savior. So this one's interesting. When target creature enters, return up to 1 target permanent you control to its owner's hands. I'm trying to figure out how that one would work, but how I could really make that work in my decks. I'm not sure yet. Another Ice Cave Crasher. Nanoform Sentinel. Whenever this creature becomes tapped, untap another target permanent only once a turn. Depressurize. Target creature gets -3, -0 until end of turn. If its power is 0 or less, you destroy it. There's Tanuk. I don't think somebody was looking for him before that I was talking to. Whenever a land you control enters, he deals 1 damage to each opponent. If this is the second time this ability has resolved a turn, draw a card. I think I know who was looking for that, so I might reach out to them. When the spacecraft enters, each opponent sacrifices a non-token creature. And it's a 4/3 flying after 7 stations. A Might. Whenever this creature becomes tapped, another target creature control gets +X/+S until the end where X is this creature's power. Interesting. When this creature enters, put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. Whenever a non-token creature you control with 1/1 counter dies, create a 1/1 white human soldier. I could see that being beneficial. Exile all creatures and spacecrafts. So we have our beautiful board wipe. Well, more or less board wipe. The creature enters, destroy up to 1 other target creature. If that creature wasn't dealt damage this turn, its controller draws 2 cards. Interesting. Just checking. I love checking my messages because people are good people. And not just my partners, but other people I know are really good, and I appreciate them. When this artifact enters, you may discard a card. If you do, draw 2 cards. Sacrifice this artifact, create a 2/2 robot. Okay, good old robots. Comet Crawler. It has lifelink. Whenever this creature attacks, you may sacrifice another creature or artifact. If you do, it gets +2/+0 till end of turn. I love this when they have may and not have to. Sinister Cryologist, that might be fun for some. Auxiliary Boosters. Create a 2/2 colorless robot artifact creature token and attach this equipment to it. Gets +1/+0 and has flying. Loving that. Put a 1/1 counter on target creature you control. It gains all those things and untap it. Which would be good for like station and then put that on. When this equipment enters, attach it to target creature you control. They get 2/1 in reach. I think we already saw that one before. We already saw depressurize. I know that for sure. Close Encounter. As an additional cost to cast a spell, choose a creature you control or warped creature card you own at exile. Close Encounter deals damage equal to the power of chosen creature or card to target creature. Ooh, I like that. Siege Ship Brood Tender. Mill 3 cards when it enters, and if you sacrifice it, turn target creature or spacecraft card from your graveyard to the battlefield only as a sorcery. Disculpting Blast. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. If it was attacking, created 1/1 colorless drone artifact creature token with flying, and this token can block only creatures with flying. Okay, I mean that's a good way to slow things down. Another Pain Land. Pain Lands are going to be the big thing, I think, honestly. Zoo Ifrit. Turn target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. It's a skeleton in addition to its other types and has no abilities. This is going to be a fun one to have in some things. If I get 2 of those, I know one's going to go into a reanimate deck, but I'm not sure yet. All right, and that's going to be my shiny, my plains, my lander. So the best part about this, besides figuring out what's going to go into what deck for me, because I truly do love deck building. I mean, I do enjoy modifying, but I love deck building from scratch too. Remember, your artifact enters, you may pay 1. If you do, put 1 counter on this creature. So I mean, as much as I like doing that, I also just love like organizing, sorting, and seeing what there is. And I've almost got my stuff fully organized where I can properly catalog it. So it's going to be a fun thing. But for right now, I still got all this to do now. Because I got to add all this to the hot mix. Cryogen Relic. This is going to be a good card for like probably a few of my decks that need me to draw more cards. Squire's Lightblade. That might be nice to have in some things. I'm not sure yet. Tap an untap permanent you control. Add 1 mana of any color with the Gene Pollinator. That could be interesting. Bombard does 4 damage to target creature. This will probably possibly be looked into with my Niv Mizzet deck. We already looked at the drone. Alright, we have the Harrier. I think we already saw this one. Yep, until next turn. Fell Grav Ship. Enters, mill 3 cards, and return a creature or spacecraft from your graveyard to your hand. After 8 stations, it is flying, lifelink 3/2. Not bad. All Fates Stalker. When this creature enters, exile up to 1 non-target assassin creature. Or sorry, one to target non-assassin creature until this creature leaves the battlefield. Interesting. So that might be with the warp, you can do a blink effect at least. Here we go. Pain for all. When enchanted creature you control, when this aura enters, enchanted creature deals damage equal to its power to any other target. Whenever enchanted creature is dealt damage, it deals that much damage to each opponent. I know I'm going to find somewhere for this, but I just don't know where yet. Have tempted to put it in my mono red. Oop. Just want to fly away. Shattered Wings. It's been a kind of a staple in a lot of sets right now. Frontline. We've seen Frontline already. Starting to get slowing down on the pretty cards, like the pretty lands, but that's okay. We're going to see what we find here. Because it usually tells me there's going to be something nice just waiting on the horizon. Orbital Plunge deals 6 damage to a target creature. If excess damage was dealt this way, create a land token. I can word, I promise you. Nanoform. Station Monitor. Lizard Artificer. When you cast your second spell each turn, create a 1/1 colorless joint artifact creature token with flying. This can only block other creatures with flying. Interesting. Reroute systems. Choose one. Target artifact or creature gains indestructible until end of turn, or 2 damage to tapped target creature. Whenever a land you control enters, you gain 1 life. That's interesting. We've already seen the vampire. There is the Super Void. Whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent chooses a creature they control and exiles it. At the beginning of your end step, if a player controls no creatures, sacrifice Sothra and then put a creature card exiled with it onto the battlefield under your control with 2 additional 1/1 counters on it. That's an interesting card there. Annul. Plains. Lander. Alright, Plasma Bolt. 2 damage to any target. If you have the Void thing, it deals 3 damage instead. Interesting. Hole Carver, I think we saw already. Mental Modulation. I believe we saw that one already. I'm probably just going to start to move a little bit more thoroughly through these until we get to the bigger stuff. Just because, I want to look at those more. Whenever land you control enters, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land card. You may cast that card this turn. Interesting. Silencer. Whenever a non-token artifact creature you control deals damage to a player, that player gets 2 poison counters. I think I had that in my pre-release. Think is the keyword I'm going to use here. Seed Ship Impact. I did have that one. That was good. Draw 2 cards and discard a card. That's the blues thing. When this creature enters, return target non-creature, non-land permanent card with mana value X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, where X is the amount of mana spent to cast this creature. It has a warp. That will definitely be going into my Angel deck. I am pretty confident. You may play an additional land on each of your turns. You may play lands from your graveyard. Whenever a land you control enters, mill a card. I have mixed feelings on this card, so we'll see. I don't think it's going to go anywhere. I think that's just, it's just pretty shiny. It just, the way that Border had some sparkles, I was kind of confused for a second. I was like, you're not supposed to have Galaxy foils in play boosters, if I remember correctly. Dark Endurance. The Light Jammer. The Pilots, Sammy's Curiosity, Slag Drill Scrapper, Drone with a Zealous Display, the Galvanizing Saw Ship, Psionist. I like that. That might be fun to do with some stuff. The second spell you cast each turn costs. That could be interesting to see where I can put that in. Honor. Target creature and draw a card. Interesting. Emissary Escort. This creature gets plus X+0, where X is the greatest mana amount of mana value among other artifacts you control. Interesting. Ascendant Cadets. I love these full arts. They're just incredible. You cannot, I mean, let's face it, almost every full art has not been one that I've been like, oh, this is gross, this is terrible. I've loved almost every full art that's came out. Embrace the Oblivion, Galeblade, Luminary, Stinger. I think we know we've seen that one. Landseeker, Sweeper. There's another Zealous Display. My goodness, a Rampage, Infiltrator, a Rescue Skiff. We already saw that before. A Close Encounter. I think Close Encounter is going to be fun. Here we go. Vigilance Menace. Whenever another creature you control dies or is put into exile, put a 1/1 counter on this creature and you gain 1 life. When he dies or is put into exile with it while its power is 4 or greater, destroy up to 1 target non-land permanent. Interesting. And then we have the Scrapper as our foil, our Swamp, and our token. I have not seen any art cards so far, which leads me to believe, because if I remember right, even with the other stuff, didn't see any play boosters. Those are all going straight to collectors from now on, which honestly I'm okay with. I love the art cards. They're one of my favorite things, honestly. What I would like to do down the road is have a wall of art cards, because I think it'd be so pretty. At the beginning of your end step, if you control 2 or more tapped creatures, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control other than this creature. That's interesting. I kind of like that. I didn't see that one before. Quantum Riddler is a Sphinx. This creature enters, draw a card. As long as you have 1 or fewer cards in hand, if you would draw 1 or more cards, you draw that many cards plus 1 instead. Interesting. Look at that island. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. I love it. Absolutely love it. We're about halfway there, y'all. I think we're either right at the halfway mark or we just surpassed it with this pack right here. Either way, it has been a lot of fun. I love opening these up with you guys. I really do, because they are a lot of fun. And I love to actually, to get to play these with you guys and see what you guys come up with and what I come up with and how they go. That's a nice little exile. Because sometimes I get so hyper-focused in one way and you guys create something and it helps me see where you can go different, and it makes it a lot more fun. Pardon me. Tractor Beam. Tap Enchanted Permanent. You now control it. It doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. Interesting. So you just lock it down. Survey Mechan. I don't think we saw this one. Flying Hexproof. Sacrifice it, deals 3 damage to a target. They draw 3 cards and gain 3 life. This will cause X less to activate, where X is the number of differently named lands you control. Okay. I like that. This is the one I really, really wanted to find after playing in pre-release. Might Form Harmonizer. Whenever a land you control enters, double the power of target creature you control until end of turn. This thing can get big very fast. And not just that thing, but anything can. And so it can be really disgusting, especially with something that does landfall. So that makes me very happy to see that. All right. Sammy is very curious there. Decode. Operative. Savior. Depressurize. Ooh, pardon me, I do apologize. The Saw Ship with Flying and Hates, that's going to be really good for mono red. I could see that put that in there for something. Just so I have a little extra oomph. When this creature enters until the end of turn, target creature control gets plus X plus 0, and target creature opponent controls gets -0, -0, -X, where X is the number of artifacts you control. Interesting. Dawnstrike Vanguard. The Eternity Elevator. Going to be another land one. Alright. I don't know where I'm going to put that one. I don't really need it for my color list. My color list is actually sitting pretty good, I think. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. We'll think about it. Light Jammer again. And that beautiful plains. I'm telling you, these full arts are just chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. They're so good. So, so good. So, one thing I also wanted to talk about, because, we are ending July. We're about to enter August. My God, we're about to enter August, month number 8. I brought up on my one last episode about how I feel things are going too fast. And, I get the time goes fast the older you get, but that's not what I was referring to. But, do you guys feel that way? I still want to really know if you guys feel that way, as well as is there other things that you would like me to touch base on, things to talk about. If you feel that I really need to push on the more teaching stuff, let me know. I will make that become a deeper focus. If you think I should focus more on the lore, let me know. I will make that a deeper focus. I want to do not only do I want to do what I want to do because it's my channel and I want to have fun, but I want to do things that I know you guys, my community, are going to be interested in as well. This is something that I'm trying to do with all of us. Oh, here we go. Seed Ship. Station, and its station cost is 7. When it attacks, you may put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. That's going to be good. I like that. That could be very beneficial. Okay. We're seeing some interesting stuff right now there. So, yeah, if you have suggestions, please, by all means, let me know. I want to know what it is that you guys would love to talk about. I eventually do want to talk about the different game formats because I want to learn them too. And I actually would love to sit down and do those games. Like do a quick game of Popper, do a quick game of, whatever, and just get a feel for them so we can talk about that. One thing I've talked about doing in the future, whenever this thing picks up, is I would love to do buy a jumpstart pack, a jumpstart box rather, and invite a bunch of people whoever's interested to get together, and we have a jumpstart tournament and record that. And that's the big thing there is you gotta make sure you understand you are, by joining, you are saying that you are okay with us recording you. Look at this cute little dog, okay? Look at the top 2 cards of your library, put one in your hand, the other one in your graveyard. You can warp this. But here's the other thing. Let me see if I can get close to that. That's definitely an alien dog, because that's like many, 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 many feet. And I love that. That dog is so cute. Edge Rover. Lotus Field. Hexproof. This land enters tapped. When it enters, sacrifice 2 lands, and then you can add 3 mana of any one color. That's an interesting one. Battle Cruiser is a 4 cost. With 1 cost, whenever an opponent discards a card, they lose 3 life. Flying Death Touch. Whenever this spacecraft attacks, each opponent discards a card, and each opponent who can't loses 3 life. So I gotta find out more about that, because I'm kind of curious of how that's going to work. And so, I believe the first effect still maintains. So if they discard a card, they're going to lose 6, but if they can't, they just lose 3. So I'm kind of thinking that's what it means, but I want to double check that. But that's kind of an interesting one for Shieldred, because it's like, well, if you draw a card, you're screwed. If you discard a card, you're screwed. It's kind of like really card locks them, where they really can't do a whole lot. So that might become a nasty for Shieldred. I don't know yet. I haven't decided. Again, I'll be going through all this stuff and remaking my decks in the future. And I'll probably do videos about that too, because I love deck building, like I said before. And I think it'd be kind of fun to just talk about my decks, and this is what I built, and this is why I built it, or this is what I was thinking with it. And then if you guys have like suggestions or critiques, I would love to hear it. Again, this is a community thing. This is with us all coming together. Prospector. Another command bridge. We're getting some command bridges here. A Zealot. Another Knight Captain. Another Unravel. All right. Another Ice Till. I don't think I'm gonna really like Ice Till. Target player mills cards equal to your life total. That's mean. I think I had somebody play that the other day on me during pre-release, and it was not nice. Pull through the weft. Look how shiny it is. I like that. I just like the shininess. And that beautiful, beautiful mountain. Okay, let me take care of my scraps here. All right. Sorry, bump the camera. Hey, it's Drix again. Gotta love Drix. Rick for what? There's a card I got. I'm surprised I haven't gotten it here yet, but that's okay, because I got it for my pre-release, where it should have been, in my opinion, it should be a legendary card, but it's not. But what it does is when it enters, you put a 1/1 counter on. Oh, no. It's at the start of your combat phase, when you get ready to declare combat. Everything gets X number of counters equal to that card's power, including that card itself. And it just goes like that and over and builds up. And so like that thing can get big and fast and get everything else big and fast, and that can be very scary. So I'm really, ooh, look at that little corgi baby. I love it. But yeah, so I mean, that's going to be a nice card. I think I know where I'm going to put it, but we're going to see. Zookeeper Meccan. It's going to get you a mountain, but also you can get it where creature control gets 4/0 till end of turn. However, it's a 7 cost. That's a steep cost. All right. With this spacecraft, when it enters, put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. Interesting. And at 8th station is flying and trample. All right. Atomic Microsizer. Equipment creature gets +1/+0. When it attacks, choose up to 1 target creature. That creature can't be blocked this turn and has base power and toughness of 1/1 until end of turn. Interesting. Lithobracking. Okay. A synthesizer lab ship. With 2 costs, up to 1 other target artifact you control becomes an artifact creature with base power and toughness of 2/2 and gains flying till end of turn, and it has flying and vigilance. Interesting. With a Mechanoza. I love that. The foils are always pretty, and they're not overabundant in foil. That's the thing. Is like I've seen it in past few sets where sometimes it's like, okay, there's a little bit of touch of foil, and to me, that little touch of foil I like better because it gives that little pop, that little extra oomph. But when they put it like smother it in foil, it almost is too much. That's just my personal opinion on it. What do you guys think? How do you feel about foils? Do you want yours to be completely blinged out, or do you just want that little accent, that little nudge of like how pretty and shiny and special it is? Let me know. Talk about that in the comments for me. Another beautiful little corgi, Azuki. I love it. I'm a big dog person. I'm a dog and cat person, let's be honest. But I usually like big dogs. I like to wrestle around with them, but corgis are just, there's something special about corgis. And I am a sucker for them. When a creature enters, create a lander token. Whenever you sacrifice an artifact, this creature deals 2 damage to target opponent. So that's going to be like really one that loves landers. This creature enters with a 1/1 counter for each another. Yeah, we already seen that one. Beautiful foil land. We're getting down there, people. We're getting down. We've only gotten 1 planet this time. And it's funny because I've already gotten that planet once before, I think. And I just would love to get all the planets if possible. I think it'd be kind of cool. But if you don't, you don't. You know what I mean? It's just like with anything else, you know. If you don't get the slivers, you don't get the slivers. If you don't get the bonus sheets, you don't get the bonus sheets. It's okay. That's just sometimes how the cookie crumbles. Thawbringer. Radiant Strike. All Faith Scrolls, colorless. 1 mana of any color. Pay 7 to sacrifice it, draw X cards, or X the number of differently named lands you control. Interesting. Vote Out. That's definitely reminds me of Among Us. I love that. Landfall. Whenever your land you control enters, create a 2/2 colorless robot artifact creature token. You can warp that. Interesting. Might be interesting for landfall. And there's another lander one. Ooh, but we got this too. This is this is the one that drops the creatures to the battlefield. That's beautiful. I love this. That's it. That foil is all over, but it seems like some of it did not get, like the spaceship did not get it, but everything outside the spaceship got it, and I like that. It's when you have certain things that there's foil, but some things aren't foil, so it kind of gives that pop. That's perfect foil to me. Whether it's just a little bit's foiled or a little bit's not foiled to give that accent, it's really what you need to do. But if it's all pure foil, it just is too much, and it's an eyesore. All right, Lost in Space. Target artifact creature owner puts it on their choice of the top or bottom of their library. Survey a 1. Interesting. Sacrifice the artifact, destroy target non-land permanent. This ability costs 3 less to activate if you attack with the spacecraft this turn. Good to know. Good to know. Permanent Elemental. Dubious Delicacy. We already saw that. There is another Painland. All about that. Arch Enemy's Charm. You can either target creature or planeswalker gets exiled. You could return 1 or 2 target creature and or planeswalker cards from your graveyard to your hand, or put 2 1/1 counters on target creature you control and it gains lifelink until the end of turn. Interesting indeed. I like that. That's only a 3 cost. That's going to be a good one, I think. But I could be wrong. I've been wrong before, so whatever. Come on. Hey, look, it's a little sliver token. Yay. Oh, knocking my dude over. Poor Gleep. Gleep Larp. I love the fact that I had them for my pre-release. I'm not much of a Space Odyssey or space fantasy type of person, but having those really did make it a lot more fun because I could be a little more silly with it. And sometimes that's all I want, is just to be a little silly. Station monitor. Reroute the systems. Another Skyfall. Hey, it's our Lobster Citizen. Artifacts you control are food in addition to other types and have. If you pay 2 and tap, you can sacrifice the gain 3 life. You can pay 1 and tap to sacrifice the food, and it deals 3 damage to each opponent. At the beginning of each end step, if you gained life this turn, untap him. That's going to be interesting. I'm not sure yet exactly where I want that. But I could see that being in a few spots. I have a slight idea on that one, honestly. And it's a 2/2 for 2 cost. It's red-white, so it really makes me almost tempted to get rid of my one deck. I already have this red-white, but we'll see. I have put a lot of investment into that deck, and I feel like I can fine-tune it and make it a little better, so we'll see, but one thing at a time. One thing at a time. Emergency eject. Whenever she or another creature or artifact you control enters, you gain 1 life. At the beginning of your end step, draw a card. If you gain 3 or more life this turn, you can warp it. She might be a good one to have in my soldier deck because of that right there. I'm not sure yet. Swarm Color. Swamp. Lander. Last of the play boosters. How y'all feeling? You have to let me know what nice hits you guys got from the play sets, or if you got anything like a massive hit from a collector booster. I would love to hear it. You know, share some of that good stuff here with us. Comet Queller. Sinister. Auxiliary boosters. Diplomatic. Red Tiger Mechanosa. Codecracker. Edge Rover. Full Bore. Meteor Crater, there we go. Choose a color of a permanent you control. Add 1 mana of that color. Beautiful. Nova Hellkite. Flying Haste Dragon. When this creature enters, it deals 1 damage to target creature an opponent controls, and you can warp it. And that's like a special art for it too, so that's even cooler. Well, guys, that was the play boosters. However, as a bonus, I did decide to get 1 collector booster. Just a little something extra for the end of this whole little vlog talk on opening. I promise you that we'll have more in-depth vlogging in the future, but I kind of really wanted to open this up and just share with you guys. I love these type of things. We'll see how it goes. Cryo Shatter. The Pinnacle Kill Ship. A Blooming Stinger. A Bombard. A Sky Stinger. A Highlander Blade. Blah, 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 blah. Scrouge for Eternity. The Infiltrators. Caravan Harrier. A beautiful beautiful island. Now we get to the good stuff. Corral of the Void. Enchant creature you control. Whenever enchanted creature attacks, put target creature card from your defending player's graveyard onto the battlefield under your control, tapped and attacking. At the beginning of your end step, sacrifices or card unless a non-land permanent left the battlefield this turn or a spell is warped. So that's going to be an interesting one. Festering Thickets. Another Plains planet. Love it. Celestial Colonnade. I cannot pronounce that word. And a Moonlit Meditation again. And then there's our art card. All right, guys, that's it. Thank you for listening to my vlog, watching me crack open cards. Like I said, if you got any feedback, if you got anything you want to talk about, by all means, always feel free to send a message. I love talking to you all. I love sharing this stuff with you all, and I want to really make this community grow. So I greatly appreciate it all. And remember, whenever you get ready to play, it's most importantly to remember to see, I did it. Every time I do this, I do it wrong because I want to untap myself. So let's try this again. Untap, upkeep, and draw. And also, did you pay the one?